Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always a fun one. You can find us on the radio at iacradio.media. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And I love your emails. It just makes my day. Send an email, suggestions, something you would just like for me to do a little research for you. I'd be glad to do that. Very honored. You can send an email to Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. So Sandra wanted me to send something. She said she's been under a lot of stress. And a lot of us have. I mean, you hear the news and all this stuff's going on. People have family issues. Lots of stuff going on inside our little heads right now. So what can you do? What are some of the breathing exercises you can do? And so I had an interview with an awesome person a few weeks ago, and we were talking about breathing. And so let's go into just a little bit more detail about this. And you can go through Google search or whatever you want to do and find all kinds of ways. But I found this website, and it's a good website. It's yogalaurent.com. That's YOGALAURENT.com. Some absolutely fantastic ways you can breathe, and 10 reasons why we all need to learn how to breathe correctly. And everybody knows my story. Most of you do. And I actually got asthma. I never had it in my entire life. A few years ago, I was working for a radio station where the guy smoked everywhere, and he was just, he was one cigarette after the other. And I was only in there about 3 or 4 hours a day, but my lungs just couldn't take it. So I wound up going through, had to go to a specialist, and who actually wanted me to start taking breathing treatments, and had me go for a sleep apnea test. And everybody who knows me knows, you all know, I love to do things the natural approach whenever possible. So I was speaking with someone who had lots and lots of nursing experience. As a matter of fact, she is actually a doctorate, had her doctor's degree in nursing. And so I mentioned this to her. I said, I just feel kind of funny about it. I said, I'm afraid I'm going to get hooked on this machine if I start it. And she said, if you can just do some breathing exercises, I'm going to recommend that. And of course, also, I'm an herbalist as well. And so through research, I also found that you can take ginger root, and that helps with your breathing as well. Now, I'm not like an authority. I don't have a degree on it or anything like that, but I can tell you what works for me. So the breathing exercise, my friend Deja Lee taught me some breathing exercises as well. And so breathing and then also taking the ginger root. There were times on the show I would have to throw us into a commercial break because I never knew when I would start getting an asthma attack. Still have asthma. We'll probably have it the rest of my life. But I'm just telling you, now it's manageable. And I'm going to say, starting with the breathing techniques worked first, and then taking the ginger root, and I do it in a powder form, also helps. So to make ginger root, let me tell you how to do that really quick. And this is for anybody. It could be some kind of a respiratory issue that you might have. If you were to catch COVID again or something like that. I live by ginger root. So you can buy it at the grocery store, but try to get the organic, all natural if you possibly can. So what you'll do is cut the ginger up in very thin slices, and try to make the slices all the same, okay? And then you'll put those in the dehydrator. And if you don't have a dehydrator, you can air dry it. That works too. It's going to take longer. With a dehydrator, I had it done in 24 hours. But now I did very fine, very thin slices, okay? So put that in there. Go ahead and get that going. Make sure the ginger is crisp. In other words, it's like a potato chip, okay? And it'll be crisp. If it has any kind of moisture in it whatsoever, you're going to wind up getting mildew on it and possible rot. So it's got to be dry. Then I went on ahead and used my coffee grinder, and then I ground it up into a real fine powder form. I use it in teas. I put it in my coffee every morning. I use ginger root. And by the way, you can't overdose on ginger root. So that's another awesome thing to think about as well. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking about breathing And why are we talking about this? Why are we having this discussion? If you listen to the same bad news over and over and over again, some of you news junkies, give it a break. You got to know what's going on in the world. And then if you're having family issues, give it a break if you possibly can. But it's so important that we breathe correctly, because if you don't breathe correctly, it's not getting into the old brain up there either. So, the brain lives off of oxygen as well. So it's kind of spongy like. Got to have the right kind of breathing. So let's go ahead and talk about the benefits of breathing properly. The physical role of breathing. It keeps us alive, number one, we all know that. But there are two respirations occurring in our bodies which keep us alert and alive. This is another thing. It's going to help you be more alert when you learn how to do these. Okay, external respiration. Occurring at the level of the lungs, the air enters the body from the outside through the lungs and leaves it out again at a rate of about 12 to 15 times per minute. Now, this phenomenon is called external respiration, or simply breathing. Internal respiration at the tissue and cellular level. This respiration feeds the cells and the tissues with oxygen. The oxygen is carried through the cells by the blood and arrives at the capillaries, which will exchange it into carbon dioxide. The deoxygenated blood is then transported through the veins until it reaches the heart, which is then once again pumped to the lungs to receive new oxygen. For all this to happen correctly, we need to have a healthy respiratory machine. It needs to be internal and keep the machine's hearts in good condition. It's extremely, what we eat also has something to do with that. If you smoke, that's bad. I'm going to preach to you a little bit about that, because I care for you. I absolutely do. So let's go ahead and dig just a little bit more before we have to go into a commercial break. Now, also, this keeps our muscles relaxed with the exercise we're going to be talking about. Each breath has a distinctive role. One of the roles of our exhalation is to relax and calm. That's why sometimes when you're having a bad day, you come home and maybe your husband or your wife will say, take a deep breath. And Phil said that to me several times. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. To some degree, we can reduce tension with this. Tightness, discomfort, and pain by learning how to use our exhalations efficiently. Just learn how to breathe. That's the best recommendation I can come up with. Your blood pressure lowers and slows down your heart rate. Now, as your muscles release tension, your blood vessels dilate, and your blood pressure then can return to average. Just breathe. Detoxification improves. So good breathing habits help the system function properly, which encourages the release of harmful toxins. This cleanses the body and allows it to direct its energy to more productive functions. Now, number 5 helps to keep our systems healthy. So your respiratory, your circulatory, your nervous, your digestive, your urinary, and lymphatic. All of these depend on our breath. It all works together. All of our body is one unit. So before we go into a commercial break, let me go ahead and mention this to you. It's important to build a collection of simple breathing techniques and meditation exercises that can be done at home. Okay, because let's just face it, first of all, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to work out. I'm always saying I'm going to do that, and it may happen, and then life starts happening, start getting busy, things start going. I've just found the more things I can do at home, the better, the more I'm going to be able to stick to it. Okay, these can be used at home, at work, or beyond to learn how to breathe correctly and ultimately support our health and our vitality. Now, the author of this article says, I am not saying it's an easy and instantaneous process, but with time and practice, we can cultivate and develop a level of awareness, acceptance, patience, and kindness with ourselves and our bodies via our breath. Now, they go on to say at the start of each of these training classes, courses, or teacher training, this person asked their students if during the last 12 months they have encountered any type of anxiety, stress, panic attack that disrupted their day-to-day life. Every time the replies are astonishing, says the author. 2/3 of the people in the group tend to have experienced with various levels of intensity and for all sorts of reasons, moments of panic, worry, or anxiety. I know that harnessing or breathing our techniques effectively can make a huge difference in managing the difficult areas of our life. If you're having, say, family issues, sometimes the holidays can bring on all kinds of anxieties. For example, we can change the stress patterns in our body and mind by doing some very easy, straightforward, gentle breathing exercises, such as working on expanding the exhalation while breathing intentionally, or by using the alternate nostril breathing technique. And we're going to talk about all of these things in just a few minutes. Let's go on ahead and go into a commercial break. We're a little bit past it, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonesmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, we're back in. We're talking about breathing. Let's learn how to breathe, okay? Again, all this stuff hits us at the same time. Everybody's worried about the election. Everybody's worried about what's going on in the world. Wars all over the place. We can still manage it, okay? Because you've got to, your little circle of the world, your circle of influence is within your family, okay? So we got to keep you around for those family members. You got a spouse and kids that are probably depending on you, not to mention grandkids. So the first part of this segment, we were talking about the physical role of breathing and what it does. It keeps us alive, for one thing. Keeps our muscles relaxed, our blood pressure lowers, and it slows down the heart rate. Detoxification improves, and that cleanses the body. And it also allows it to direct its energy to more reproductive functions. And then also number 5, helps keep our systems healthy. Respiratory, circulatory, nervous, digestive, urinary, all of these depend on your breath. So let's talk about the psychological benefits of breathing. Okay, now number 6, endorphins are released, which help with pain relief. Deep breathing triggers the release of endorphins, which improves the feelings of well-being and provides pain relief. I can't tell you the number of times I've had a headache, and I would just sit back and just take deep breaths, and you'd be amazed at how that helps. A friend of mine, Rob, was telling me about how he has these headaches, like these really massive headaches. And again, I believe I just do everything the natural way as much as possible. I just think that's the way to do it. And so my son has migraine headaches, and so I've taught him the natural way to do things. So he also takes peppermint oil, essential oil. So let's make sure that I'm clear on this, okay? So make sure that when you have the peppermint oil, you'll use it on your temples if that's where you have the headache. If you have it on your forehead, then you'll put a couple of drops there. You don't have to put a bunch of it. In fact, one of those little bottles like that will last you a long time. I don't think you'll spend more than $20 for it, but make sure it is 100% essential oil. Now you can get the blends, which is okay, but what you're looking for right now is peppermint, and that's what's going to help you with those headaches. So peppermint oil, and again, make sure it's not a fragrant oil. Okay, so there's a huge difference between essential oils and fragrant oils. I make my own essential oils as well. And so some kind of a carrier oil, it could be something like olive oil. You wouldn't want to use a meat type oil like a taro or anything like that. No lard, nothing like that. Not butter. It needs to be something that's a plant oil based. And a good one I like to go to, I go to all the time, and that is my olive oil. And you can, if you raise, say, peppermint, which is what I do. So I raise peppermint. So what I'll do is I'll get those leaves and I'll dry them all the way, just like I was telling you about earlier with using the ginger root. Okay, so you want to dry them. You can dry them naturally, which is just fine. As a matter of fact, I think in some ways, it's probably the best way to do it. So you'll dry those leaves, and then you'll put those so let's just say you're going to use a little pint jar. Just a little bit's going to go a long way. So you want to get those leaves, and you want to kind of crush them up just a bit and put those in the bottom of your jar. and then you'll pour your olive oil on that. Now use about, fill up the pint jar about 2/3 of the way up. Then you want to go on ahead and put oil in it, enough to where it floats up on top. You'll need to shake this, and it's going to take a while. It's going to take you 6 to 8 weeks. As a matter of fact, the longer you leave those in the oil, the better it's going to be, the better the absorption will be. And then all you got to do is just, separate it, get the leaves out of it, and put it through a filter. Through cheesecloth is the best way to do it. That way you've got all of those leaves out of there. Get a drop of it if you want to make it yourself. Put it on your forehead or wherever. And Brad just swears by it. And so he feels he's got a lot of stress on his job. So he'll put a drop or two on his forehead, and he doesn't take aspirin anymore. And aspirin can be bad for your stomach. You got to be really careful. Okay, now we're getting into the psychological of breathing. Okay, we talked about the endorphins, and which can give us pain relief in some cases. Number 7, balances our nervous system. So we can directly influence the autonomic nervous system with its 3 branches. The sympathetic nervous system, this is the conscious bodily functions. Also unconscious bodily functions, and something called the enteric nervous system, which is called the second brain. This is the gastrointestinal tract functions. Have you ever just been worried about something and you didn't know you were doing it? You just had concerns about something, maybe got anxious about something, maybe you think you have cancer or something like that, and you've kind of like diagnosed yourself, and it's going to be 2 weeks. You don't have this going to the doctor's office anymore. It's always a long wait. And so you can't go to the doctor's office for 2 weeks or maybe a month, and you're sitting there, you're just thinking about it, all the possibilities of things that can be. And then the doctor tells you, you don't have cancer. And that relief that you feel, it's just like this instant relief that you have. See, sometimes we worry ourselves into a frantic. I know I do. I'm talking to myself here. Okay, so number 8, breathing correctly reduces anxiety, stress, and panic. I hate getting panic. I hate to be put in the panic mode about anything. I remember when Larissa, who's my daughter-in-law, when her sister passed away, I went into panic mode, and it was because I couldn't wait to get to North Carolina quick enough. I felt like I just needed to be there. Do nothing. I can't do anything, but I just needed to be there. Just be in the room. That's all I wanted to do. We couldn't get there fast enough, and so I was panicking. I mean, it's just going all kinds of panic. Some situations may cause heart palpitations, lightheadedness, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, and at times may cause you to pass out. Consequently, the mind responds to the attack by causing further symptoms of anxiety and panic. We can control those effects with simple breathing techniques, which rebalance your focus on yourself and away from the source of stress through the exercises. Regulate your heart, your breathing, and your mind. Number 9, this helps with sleep disorders and insomnia. So breathing exercises can help you to sleep. Calm, deep breathing helps to override the sympathetic nervous system fight or flight response. You don't want to feel that way. And switch on to the ability to relax, which then can take control of the body and the mind. The result is a slower heart rate, quieter breathing, and a greater sense of calm. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but let's talk about number 10. And this is develop and help to learn meditation, or prayer is what we call it. Develop body awareness, focus, and concentration with guided breathing, meditations, or prayers. Focusing on the breath forces your mind to concentrate on one point only, and therefore starts the process of deep concentration, leading to meditation. I wanted to, let's go on ahead. I want to talk to you about some of the courses in just a minute that you can possibly take. Folks who teach yoga, and some of the things that they do. Okay, The one thing they teach is how to breathe. You know, we come into the world knowing how to breathe. I mean, we come in knowing all these things, and then life takes over, and we start getting experiences, and then we're sometimes we're told the wrong thing. I mean, but like the Bible clearly tells you not to worry. But do I worry? Yeah, I do, just like everybody else does. And then I'll think about that. I'll go, wait a minute. I'm going to say 90%, possibly more than that, 90% of the things I've worried about thinking was going to happen never happened. You know, I have a family member who says things that are not true. And so she'll get on a tangent and she'll just get on the phone, or she'll get on Facebook, she'll get on, different places, and she'll just say stuff that's not true. So what do? I worry. What are people going to think about me? Are they going to believe this nonsense? I mean, will they? And so you worry about all these things, and most people just brush it off. And they know how she is. And most people will brush it off. And if someone in your life is doing that, and a lot of you do, because I see your Facebook posts out there as well, or any of your social media posts. And, the thing is you worry about what people think about you. What you're doing is you're eliminating the people who really don't matter in your life. You won't be wasting time on those people. You'll be spending more time with the people who actually mean something in your life. So don't let that little worry take you away to Never Never Land. Okay, now let's talk about breathing. And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult when people are saying things they shouldn't be saying. But you just breathe deep. It actually helps you. And breathing deep. Oh, and another thing is when you're just consistently worried about something. And I've been there. I know what it's like. It's like your brain turns foggy. It's like you can't concentrate on your job. You can't concentrate on cooking. You can't concentrate on anything. You stay up all night. You're worried. You wake up all hours of the night. Let's breathe. Okay, so this is what you want to do. You want to breathe in through your nose. Go. You need to try to hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, now you may have to work at it, because I remember I did. I was in such a panic stage. Deja Lee said, you need to do 5 seconds. So I did 5 seconds. You need to build up to it. Don't try to do too much at the same time. So let's go ahead and breathe in through our nose and hold it for 5 seconds. And then breathe out through your mouth. You're going to be amazed at what that does. If you'll wake up in the morning, it's helped my asthma. I mean, I can breathe so much better than I could a year ago. So again, we're going to breathe through our nose in 5 seconds and then breathe out through your mouth. That's all you got to do. And if you have to look at your stopwatch or whatever and see how many seconds is that, it doesn't have to be exact. You know about how many you can do. Now, this is one thing I wanted to mention to you. When you do that, you need to be sitting down while you're doing it. Standing up is fine. Just don't go down. If you do, it causes you to pass out. I don't want you to pass out on me, okay? May not be anybody around that can revive you. But it would be real if you did that if you breathe those techniques 5 times in a row, like I said, you might pass out. So make sure you're sitting down, make sure you're in a quiet place, got some wonderful music going on, you're looking at a candle, whatever. And just say, Jesus, help me to breathe. And go. I hope this helps you today. It sure helped me. I'm just telling you, it's nice to be able to have a talk show and talk. And not cough. So anyway, I hope this helps you, whatever breathing issues you're having. Thank you again so much for watching Donna's Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. And breathe it, and don't worry so hard about things you cannot control. And things are probably not even going to happen anyway. Thanks for watching.